You've had plenty to say about moderators in the past. What did you think of the way the whole thing was run?
You're just trying to trigger me, aren't you?
A little bit.
Trigger me.
A little bit.
Press all my trigger spots. Trigger, thorn. The more I thought about it, the more I just got angrier and angrier over what CBS did last night. I mean, it was better than ABC by a smidgen. It's hard for me to say that they were better because they were disgustingly biased in their question selection, in their follow-ups, in their fake fact checks, in their snide tone, their sneering condescension to the Republican and to Republican voters. I mean, the Media Research Center did a study of the CBS Evening News and Morning News and showed that it's 83 or 84% negative stories for Trump. It's ridiculous. 17% of the stories are either neutral or positive, and 83% of the coverage is negative on Trump. Not as bad as ABC, which I think was 97% negative for Trump, but disgusting. And that was on full display last night. Margaret Brennan embarrassed herself. She completely changed many people's professional opinion of her. She's been very biased against Trump on her Sunday show. She's the one who, on the night of the first assassination attempt, where Trump was still bleeding from his head, criticized his paper statement that he put out saying, "I'm okay and God bless," whatever. Oh, he didn't call for his supporters not to retaliate. Irresponsible. What? He's still bleeding. The story is not Trump's supporters getting ready to retaliate. It's that some lunatic almost shot his head off. That's how she saw the moment. So what does that get you? Oh, well, it gets you a vice presidential moderation spot over on CBS News. She was incapable of understanding any Republican argument and didn't have a simple facility with the facts when it comes to basic economic principles like supply and demand. Explain exactly how illegal immigrants are driving up the costs of housing. Hello, McFly. Are you an idiot? It's called supply and demand. You don't have to have an economics degree from Harvard to understand that. She just couldn't. It was, the absolute disdain. And the whole presentation, Tim Walz too, when he was nailed down on his far left abortion policies and the murdering of babies policies that he did sign into law, even though he denied it, tried to rely when JD Vance had him. He had him under his thumb on, well, it's just true. What I'm saying is true because ABC News fact checked it at the last debate. That was the whole, are babies being born alive after abortions and left to suffer to death? And they are, especially in Minnesota, where Tim Walz reversed the law. He revoked it. There was a law in place saying you would have to give such a baby life-saving care. He repealed that law and said you only have to give them comfort care, but you do not have to save their lives. And indeed, 8 babies have died while he's been governor because he reversed that law that would have mandated the life-saving efforts. And when JD had him on the ropes about this, his response was, ABC News already fact-checked this at the last debate in one of the most controversial fact checks of all time. No fact check by the CBS moderators on that. No one jumping in at that point to say, Governor Walz, you did sign such a law. The ABC fact check was wrong. There was zero help provided to the Republicans or to JD Vance. There were multiple instances where they swooped in to try to save the day for Tim Walz. And just sick of it, Paul. I'm sick of it because let me just put one period at the end of this. You open up today's news and you got the Cook Political Report showing Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are neck and neck in every swing state. She's ahead of him in virtually all of them. They're tied in North Carolina. North Carolina was one swing state Trump did manage to win last time around. And she's above him by about a point. It's all within the margin of error. But he should be crushing her right now. These debates aren't moving the needle. Nothing's moving the needle. But the debate moderators, without allowing fair play, are doing their best to keep it at least tight so she can look like a viable contender, so Tim Walz can look like he could potentially take over. And it's not only unfair, it's just deeply corrupt to the system that's going to elect the next president.